So a couple months back, Donald Trump took all the credit for a Ford plant not going to Mexico. And it was like the first week in office, and he really made a lot of hay over it and really made it seem as though his mere presence alone changed the destiny for all of these Ford plant workers. Well, turns out that the plant is no longer going to Mexico because it's now going to China. So they're moving its production of its Focus to the Focus model car to China after production at its Michigan plant ends in 2019. The whole deal was to keep that exact plant in Michigan from going to Mexico, but now it's going to China. So it estimates that that move is going to save them $500 million in production costs to produce the car. And this is clearly, you know, a labor issue. This is the issue of how much can they save on labor by moving it out of Michigan. So of course they could save hundreds of millions of dollars if they move the production plant overseas, or previously they wanted to move it to Mexico. So this is Donald Trump taking credit for it. Back on January 9th, he said, 2017, he said China's labor costs are lower than Mexico's, but shipping costs for the small cars will rise. And then he began to take credit for this deal not going to Mexico. So this is two things here. Number one, I'm always fascinated at the fact that people will willingly accept any politician, for that matter, taking credit for something that had absolutely nothing to do with them. And Donald Trump came on the scene, and the very first thing he said was, well, you know, I helped negotiate and save this plant. And we knew that wasn't true in the first place, right? We knew that the ball had been in motion. The decisions had been made long before Donald Trump became president. It just so happened that he became president on the week that Ford made this announcement. But I guess he didn't read the fine print, because now it's going to China. Here's the other side of the equation that's worth discussing. Not how long, there's always going to be a race to the bottom for labor. Labor will always suffer at the hands of multinational corporations who can easily take their operations uprooted from the United States. We've been doing this for probably 50, 60 years at this point, uprooting it from the United States and taking it somewhere where they can get pennies on the dollar for labor. This is nothing new. And in fact, this is right par for the course for the Republican Party and a portion of the Democratic Party. This is exactly what they see the world as. This is their world view. So back to the question of the first caller tonight, they're asking, will Donald Trump not being a true populist undermine a true populist? The reality of it is Donald Trump was never a true populist to begin with. Donald Trump just had the language of anger, which people conflated to be the language of populism. But Donald Trump has always been about multinationalism. He's always been about multinational corporations, outsourcing, getting his work done overseas for the cheapest dollar possible. That's always been Donald Trump. And for people to have believed that he was anything more than that is astonishing to me. It's astonishing to me because there's nothing in his history that suggests that he would do anything other than what's in the best interest for the bottom line of his company and, by proxy, other companies. So all of the celebrations that took place immediately after he became president, they're all going out the window now. And I wonder who actually paid attention long enough to realize that Donald Trump took credit for something that he did not do. And now the thing that he said that he did actually didn't happen. And now they're going to China.